Hello everybody. In the current affairs this week, the week ended 19th of January 2025. Every day in the morning when we pick up the newspaper, we see that the Indian rupee is depreciating. But the fact is that the US dollar is appreciating. Now if we go to a little detailed statistics, we will quite understand that. In last 3 months, the Indian rupee has depreciated vis-a-vis the US dollar by 2.83%, and in last 1 year, it has depreciated by 4.32%. But the UK pound has depreciated by 5.72%, and in 1 year, it has depreciated by 6.32%. When it comes to the Australian dollar, in last 3 months, it has depreciated by 7.17% against the US dollar, and in last 1 year, it has depreciated by 6.66%. So this is the state of depreciation of the currencies of certain developed markets against the US dollar. Now coming to the emerging markets, the Chinese yuan has depreciated by 3% in last 3 months, and in last 1 year it has depreciated by 3.3%. And the South Korean won has depreciated in last 3 months by 6.83%, and in last 1 year it has depreciated by a huge 10.35%. So in sum and substance, the fact is that all the currencies, all the major currencies of the world have depreciated vis-a-vis the US dollar, and conversely speaking, the US dollar has appreciated vis-a-vis all the currencies globally. And the reason, or the major reason for it, is that there is a lot of fund flow converging to the US for several reasons. But the extent of depreciation of the respective currency is limited in certain cases on account of strength of that local currency, and that strong local economy is what is India. And the other economies which are perceived to be a little weaker, the currency markets have depreciated those respective currencies in a bigger way. Today, US is running a fiscal deficit of 6% to its GDP, which is quite high, while as India is running a fiscal deficit of 4.5% to its GDP. In this kind of a scenario, let us see how long the strength of the US dollar continues. But a very interesting impact of the strength of the US dollar would be that even if the new administration, US administration, imposes tariffs on the imports to the US against the goods imported from foreign countries, on account of the strength of the US dollar, the people in the US would not be facing the impact of that tariff, because effectively their currency has appreciated so very much. So the tariff is not going to really increase the cost of the US buyer of those imported goods. When it comes to the Indian stock markets, in this 5-day week on the Indian stock market, the first and last day that is the first and the fifth day, were on a declining side, but the in-between 3 days were on the positive side. And the net effect of the week was that all the three major indices, which is the Nifty 50, Nifty Mid Cap and Nifty Small Cap, were mildly low by sub 1%. But the good news is that the downfall which we saw in the Indian stock markets last week has been arrested. This week, the FIIs continued to be sellers to the extent of 25,000 crores, and DIIs, as always the way it has been happening since last at least a couple of years, they have been the balancing factor by buying Indian stocks to the extent of equally 25,000 crores. The commodity market, crude, was up by 1.29% this week, but in last 1 month, it has appreciated by 10.38%. And this is not so good news for India. Nasdaq was up by 2.5% and S&P 500 was up by around 3%. Monday, 20th of January, Mr. Donald Trump will be assuming charge as the President of the United States, and all eyes are focused on the kind of action that we will see from the US on different fronts, may it be immigration, may it be economy, and there could be some measures which might impact the entire world. That is all for this week. Thank you.